Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into a room looking for your keys, only to realize they're not there? That moment, when you expected something and instead found its absence, isn't just frustration. It's philosophy in action. Jean-Paul Sartre, one of the most provocative existentialist thinkers, argued that nothingness isn't some grand, abstract cosmic force. It's woven into the fabric of our everyday lives. We don't just encounter things, we encounter missing things. And that absence, that not-there-ness, shapes our reality just as much as what is there. Imagine you open your wallet expecting 1,500 coins, but you only find 1,300 coins. Where's the missing 200? It's not floating somewhere in the air. It's gone. Yet its absence haunts you. That lack isn't imaginary. It's a real experience. Sartre would say this is nothingness at work. The gap between what you expected and what's actually there. This isn't just about money. It's about how humans live with absence. When your friend doesn't show up at the cafe, their not being there isn't neutral. The whole cafe feels different. The chatter, the chairs, the coffee cups fade into the background because Pierre's absence takes center stage. You don't just think, he's not here. You feel it. That's Sartre's point. Negation isn't just a logical trick. It's a lived experience. Some philosophers, like Hegel, treated nothingness as the equal but opposite of being. Like light and dark, he saw them as two sides of the same coin. But Sartre disagreed. He said, you can't even talk about nothingness unless being comes first. Think about it. If I say, there's nothing in the box, the word nothing only makes sense if we first understand what something is. If I say, the future doesn't exist yet, that not depends on my idea of existence. Nothingness isn't a standalone force. It's parasitic on being. Like a shadow, it only exists because something real casts it. Here's another mind-bender. When a hurricane flattens a city, is that destruction? Sartre says, not to the universe. To nature, it's just atoms rearranging. But to us, it's a tragedy because we see what was and what could have been. A dog doesn't mourn a ruined building. A tree doesn't regret fallen leaves. But humans do. We impose nothingness onto the world by remembering, comparing, and feeling loss. That's why Sartre says destruction is a human act of meaning, not just a physical event. Why do we call glass fragile? Because we anticipate its breaking. Fragility isn't just a property. It's the possibility of future nothingness. When you protect something, you're fighting against an absence that hasn't even happened yet. This is how nothingness sneaks into everything. Regret means the past could have been different. Fear means the future might not be safe. Boredom means the present isn't fulfilling. We're haunted by what isn't at every turn. Martin Heidegger, another giant of philosophy, took this further. He said nothingness isn't just absence. It's what we feel in moments of deep anxiety. When you stare at the stars and think, why is there anything at all? That's nothingness creeping in. But Sartre pushed back. Okay, but why can humans even ask that question? Animals don't lie awake wondering about the void. Our ability to question, to negate, to see what's missing, that's what makes us unique. Here's the core of Sartre's argument. Consciousness is like a magician's act. The magician says, watch as I pull a rabbit from this hat. He reaches in and pulls out nothing. The crowd doesn't just see an empty hat. They feel the absence of the rabbit. That disappointment, that's nothingness in action. And it only exists because the audience expected something. Sartre says our minds work the same way. We don't just perceive the world, we interpret it by comparing what is to what isn't. Every question, where's my phone? Every disappointment, they didn't text back. Every plan, I'll avoid traffic, relies on this dance between being and non-being. Nothingness isn't out there. It's in how we see. Some philosophers treat nothingness like a cosmic force, a void beyond the universe. Sartre says, nonsense. Nothingness is right here, in the cracks of everyday life. Distance means the gap between 2 points. Silence means the lack of sound. Memory means the shadow of what's gone. These aren't illusions. They're negatites, real phenomena built around absence. Why this matters: freedom, anxiety, and the human condition. Sartre's obsession with nothingness isn't just academic. It's the foundation of his existentialism. 1. We're free because we can imagine what isn't. Oh, a rock can't dream of being a bird. Oh, but you can quit your job, move cities, reinvent yourself because you see beyond what is to what could be. 2. Anxiety comes from confronting nothingness. Oh, when you realize, I'm not who I thought I was, or life has no preset meaning. That's the void staring back. 3. Responsibility is inescapable. Oh, if nothing is fixed, you must choose. And every choice kills infinite possibilities, creating little nothings in its wake. A donut isn't defined by its dough, but by the hole at its center. In the same way, Sartre argues that human existence isn't just about what we are, but about what we're not, what we lack, what we desire. Nothingness isn't the opposite of life. It's what gives life its shape. So next time you reach for your keys and find them not there, remember, you're not just forgetting something. You're touching the same nothingness that philosophers have wrestled with for centuries. And in that absence, you're more human than ever.